Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. I am Nicolette Hodge, a prophetess standing with and representing Master Suleiman, the messenger of the covenant, the breaker of the seven seals, and the self-taught one. Brothers and sisters, today we are going to speak about hunger pains. This is a Redux, and none of the media is speaking about the food shortage that's taking place right now. This food shortage is leading into famine, where there will be no food whatsoever in America. All black people will be on the menu. And so we're going to dig down into this reality of famine. However, before we get started, we're going to reflect on what these devils have done to us by putting us through the Holocaust. Slavery is working someone without paying them. The Holocaust is our complete experience. Sun up, sun down, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, from the very moment of our conception until the moment we took our last breath. We were terrorized, brutalized, put through the most agonizing pain that you could imagine. We were tortured at the hands of these devils. Endless beatings, endless rape, endless sodomization. They decapitated us. They mutilated us. They castrated us. That is not slavery. Slavery does not include cannibalism. Now, let me make something clear. Here in a couple of days, when these devils are hungry, they're experiencing hunger pains because of the famine, they're going to take off their mask and show us the kind of savage beast that they have always been. There's a book called The Delectable Negro, and in the book, these devils go into detail about how it is that they use cannibalism as a method of instilling fear in us to keep us in check. One of us ran away from the plantation. They would drag us right on back, cut off one of our ears, one of our fingers, and force feed it to one of our other brothers and sisters to reinstill that fear and shock and to keep us in check. They used our babies' mouths as urinals and used our babies for everything else that you could not even imagine. Used our babies as bed warmers. Used them as footstools, chairs, tables. Scalped us. Used our hair as cushion. These devils ate our flesh. Their goal was to completely wipe us out of existence. That's why they raped us nonstop. Their goal was to completely wipe out our original seed. We were not allowed to procreate with our original man. We were not allowed to nourish our babies. We had to sneak and procreate with our original man to keep this original nation afloat. We had to sneak and nourish our babies. These devils tried to destroy us. Now we are plagued with mass seed. There's 34 million blacks in America, 17 million are demons, 17 million of us are original. And this comes from the non-stop raping that we experience all throughout the Holocaust. These devils in black skin walk like us, talk like us, look like us. However, they don't think like us. They don't have the same nature as us. These demons are put in front of us as terrorizers. They are terror bots. And they are keeping us programmed as Negro bots to self-destruct without asking any questions. So you have been manipulated and deceived by these demons because you think that since they have black skin, then they are people, when they are not. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. Farrakhan, the chief demon, the chief hypocrite, is sitting in Elijah's seat saying that he's some type of faithful warner, and he cannot warn you, explain to you, or lead you. He cannot shed any light on the famine that's coming. He cannot speak on the food shortage that is taking place right now because he's watching the news. He's a weatherman. He's a reporter. Whatever they say on the news, he goes and repeats it. They're not talking about the food shortage on the news. They have you right where they want you, brothers and sisters. Fast asleep. So focused on entertainment, sports, vacation, getting ready for Halloween, and different parties and whatnot. You got your drink. You got your swine. And so you're not asking any questions. Farrakhan is doing nothing but reporting what the news is saying. And if the news is not talking about it, then he's not saying anything to you. He's not letting you know what's going to happen before it happens. He's a liar. He says that we're not going anywhere. Well, that means that we're going to suffer the same consequence as these devils and their black-faced children for putting us through the Holocaust. That doesn't add up. He refuses to read the fullness of the Abrahamic covenant, down to where it says where our home is, where we are returning to. We're going back home in peace, in between the great river Euphrates and the the river of Egypt, which the land in between those two rivers is Arabia. And he refuses to let you know that you have a reward, brothers and sisters. That was the whole message of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That we are going back home. We are God's people. We are living out Exodus. The Holocaust is the reason for all of the chaos around us. Nearly 500 years of dehumanization to the fullest extent that you could imagine, and everything else you cannot imagine. So 500 years, for every consequence there's an opposite or equal, for every action there's an opposite or equal reaction. This is consequence. So they have to receive the fulfillment of the Holocaust, nearly 500 years, and they're going to receive it all in one day, which is 1 year. All right, you have to understand the angel to understand what it means when the angel says that she will receive all her plagues in 1 day. That's 1 year. And the proof is in the pudding. So they're saying that we need to forget what was done to us. It wasn't no big deal. When they are starving to death, forced to eat their own children, and drink each other's blood, then they need to get over it. It's no big deal. If what they said, they didn't do anything wrong to us, if what they're saying is true, then they shouldn't be crying out during their judgment. It should be a cakewalk. However, we know that they're lying, because if they didn't see anything wrong by putting us through the Holocaust, why are they not displaying and broadcasting this information for the whole world to see? Why are they calling it a critical race theory? There's nothing theoretical about what happened to us. Why won't they show us our babies? Why won't they give a clear description of what they did to our children, the most delicate part of our creation? Because if you knew what these pedophiles and murderers did to our babies, you will automatically wake up. You will automatically start drawing the line. You will automatically see these devils for the beast that they are. But they want to talk about everyone else's children. You know, when the border crisis was taking place, they wanted to talk about how those children are being kept in cages, and they talk about the Ukraine and whatnot, and they want to, you know, show their children, show our children, show what you did to our babies. Expose yourself, devils. Tell the truth. They cannot bear to look at and face what they did to us, because they know what they did was so sadistic and sick and evil that even the most devilish ones of them, they're all devils, know them by their works. If they were angels, if they were sweet and kind or anything like that, that's how they would have treated us. But they treated us as animals. They have classified us as animals through the U.S. Constitution, which says that we are 3/5 of human. They beat us to our bone. They whipped us to the bone and put salt and hot peppers on us as they prepared to eat us. And they didn't even recognize that we had skin. They called it hide. They called it tearing our hide and eating our hide. And so if they showed you what they did to our babies, you would be looking for the nearest exit out of America. So that proves that they know they are dead wrong. They are guilty as charged. The Holocaust is our full experience. Stop letting them lie to you and whitewash this and sweep it up under the rug. They're not getting out their judgment. Their judgment has already started. All right, brothers and sisters, we're going to get right into the presentation for today. Famine. Brothers and sisters, a couple of months ago, there was a formula shortage. And a lot of mothers are panicking. And then it seemed like the formula shortage dwindled down, and we think things are going back to normal. The formula shortage should have been a red flag that a food shortage is coming right after. Now, formula shortage, you can still find ways to feed your baby. At the end of the day, your body producing milk, you can breastfeed your child. What happens with this food shortage? Even jackals offer their breasts to nurse their young. But the daughter of my people has become cruel, like an ostrich in the wilderness. The nursing infant's tongue clings in thirst to the roof of his mouth. Little children beg for bread, but no one gives them any. America and Britain are about to be kicked out the Middle East by Iran, Syria, and our God, Master Farad Muhammad. America and Britain put false Israel into place in 1948 to counter the narrative that we are the seed of Abraham. They took the most hated of their kind and put them in the Holy Land, and they have stolen our identity and said that they are God's people. They said that all of Exodus has taken place. They've already been led to their land. And they're saying that the Holocaust, a couple of years of them leading each other into gas chambers and incinerators, they were not enslaved or afflicted as outlined in the Abrahamic covenant. They did not go through 400 years in a strange land that is not theirs. We were the ones kidnapped from our home and brought over here to America and enslaved and afflicted. That's two different things. That's the Holocaust and slavery. And it says that afterwards we would come out with great substance. We are the great substance. We are the gold and silver. And we would go to our fathers in peace. False Israel's not in peace. We would be buried. It says that Abraham would be buried in a good old age. And that our land clearly outlines our land between the great river Euphrates and the river Egypt. Now they call it the Nile River. They like to rename these different areas so that we don't even know where our land is. False Israel's not sitting in that land. The house of Saud is sitting in our land. They have renamed it Saudi Arabia. False Israel is sitting in a Palestinian country, Jerusalem. And so they have been lying about the Abrahamic covenant. However, it's not until they are under siege and destroyed that the whole world sees the lying beast, murder, raping pedophiles that they are. And realize that we are God's people, because with false Israel going down and being destroyed, going under siege and being destroyed, it says that once we go back home, once we're put in our land, we would never be uprooted again. And with false Israel being uprooted, viciously uprooted, then it's going to prove that they cannot possibly be God's people. As a matter of fact, they are God's enemy. And if they are God's enemy, what does that make us? That makes us the chosen people. That makes us the true seed of Abraham, which we have always been. Iran and Syria are Islamic brothers under the direct guidance of their 12th Imam, Master Farad Muhammad, our God, will be back in control of all the resources in the Middle East once America and Britain get kicked out. America and Britain are the military power. Now, let me make something clear. False Israel is the Antichrist. Master Suleiman is the Christ. Both were conceived at the same time, 1948. And this is how we certify and prove that Master Suleiman is the Son of Man. Okay, we call him Master Suleiman because he has mastered all 22 chapters of the Injil, which is Revelations. He is the breaker of the seven seals and the messenger of the covenant. Before Master Suleiman, came to us, we did not know that we had a reward for our suffering and affliction at the hands of these devils. We thought that everything we went through was in vain. We're going to try to make the best out of this American dream, knowing that it's against us. However, we didn't know that there was any other option. America and Britain are giving the military support to false Israel. With America and Britain being removed out the Middle East by Iran, Syria, and our God, Master Farad Muhammad, false Israel will be under siege. No food will be coming into false Israel. No food will be going out. And they will be on display for the whole world to see just how savage and beastly these devils are. They will be eating each other. Cannibalism. They're showing these different series on Netflix, Jeffrey Dahmer, and they're showing you that how they think, how they move, how they behave with the law in their favor, and us classified as 3/5 a human through the U.S. Constitution. That means that we're not completely human. If you're not a human, that makes us an animal. And it's not illegal to eat animals. So with them showing these series on Netflix of Jeffrey Dahmer eating people and whatnot, and you know, a lot of you are on social media making jokes about it. They're showing you that if their back was against the wall, if the laws was in their favor, if no one would check them, they will be eating us. The whole thing about false Israel being under siege is scriptures states that men's hearts will be failing for fear of what's to come upon the earth. The earth represents the European nation. And with the whole world watching false Israel under siege and eating each other, a lot of you, along with these devils, hearts will be failing because that's what's to come to America next and the rest of the European countries. America's oil is getting cut off as soon as they are kicked out the Middle East. All right, and they're not going to tell the truth of how it is that they got put out of the Holy Land in the first place. Master Farad Muhammad, Iran, and Syria are going to disable all their nuclear weapons with our wills, which they call UFOs. They're already telling you how our wills are hovering over their military bases and knocking out their nuclear power. When they go to launch their nuclear weapons, Master Farad Muhammad is going to neutralize all of their nuclear capabilities. America and Britain are not going to be telling the truth. I'm focusing on America right now. They're not going to come back home telling the truth about how it is that our wills are flying around disabling their nuclear power. They're going to blame it on Russia. America is already at odds with Russia. America has instigated this war between Russia and the Ukraine. And so when America is kicked out the Middle East, their oil pipeline is cut off. They will not be getting any oil from Russia. The EU will be turning against America and aligning themselves with Russia because they need resources to take care of their people. And they're not willing to suffer because America is being the middleman and instigating this war. They will be attacking all black people as soon as they get kicked out the Middle East. there will be no food. The food shortage is taking place right now. However, you don't realize it because you're going into the grocery store and you see food on the shelves. Not only that, they're distracting you, brothers and sisters, giving out all these extra government benefits, $3,000 worth of food stamps. Anyone who has a child under 17, they're giving all this money to you to go buy food. What you don't realize is that the food that we get from the grocery stores is from their warehouses. They will not be able to replenish or restock these warehouses because there is no food. They will not tell you the truth about this. They want to keep you distracted, just like on the movie The Titanic. The boat is going head-on collision into this iceberg, and instead of telling the people the truth of what's about to happen, they are whining and dining everyone on the ship to keep them distracted and playing the violin, got these serenades going to further keep the people blind to what's right in front of their face. And you're thinking, I see all these things taking place in the world. Things are bad, but at the end of the day, me and my family, we got food on the table. We got our drink, and we're thankful for the little things. You're comfortable. You have not seen these devils hungry and fiending, angry, and looking for their next meal, looking for their next piece of meat, looking for their next piece of flesh. And so even jackals offer their breasts to nurse their young, but the daughter of my people has become cruel like an ostrich in the wilderness. The nursing infant's tongue clings in thirst to the roof of its mouth. Little children beg for bread, but no one gives them any. Me and the sister prophetess spoke on this topic of famine a couple of days ago. And the whole thing about it is, sisters, this is even more urgent. This is even more of an urgent matter for us, sisters, because we are the ones responsible for thinking about and providing the food for our children. And with this famine, these devils are looking for us to eat us. How are you going to keep your baby quiet? And these devils are attacking us so that they can eat us. These devils are not going to want to even nurse their young children at all. If anything, whatever milk they may have produced, they'll be trying to ingest it for themselves. Now, in order to even nurse or breastfeed, you have to be eating, you have to ingest food yourself, because that's where milk production comes from. It comes from eating food, and then your body produces that milk. And so they're not going to have any compassion for their own children. On another perspective, how is it that you're going to keep your children quiet, sisters, and they are crying for food? Their tongues are clinging to the roof of their mouth. So you'll be put in a tough position to take your child out of their misery before these devils come and do it. Before these devils come and murder our babies. This is how intense it's about to be here in a couple of days. The food shortage is taking place right now. They're not telling anyone. Famine, that means there's nothing around. There's no longer a shortage. It's completely gone altogether. And so the scripture is outlining what is about to happen in a couple of days. Those who once ate delicacies are destitute in the streets. Those brought up in crimson huddle in ash heaps. Money means nothing. Money means nothing in this famine. There's no food whatsoever. We are classified as 3/5 a human on the U.S. Constitution. You have to ask yourself, why haven't they changed that? They are damn near making the impossible possible with all this LGBTQ madness, changing a man into a woman and a woman into a man. And they're even talking about, trying to figure out how they could put a uterus into a man and make him carry a baby and make him lactate. Yet they have not changed this 3/5 human clause within the U.S. Constitution. They knew what they were doing when they put the 3/5 human clause in place, and they know why they kept it that way. They're keeping us in their back pocket for hard times. And so money means nothing at this point in time for all these demons who have spent their whole lives getting close right up under Massa in the big house. Oprah, Denzel, Kanye West, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Tabitha Brown, all these different sports players, these preachers and deacons, Farrakhan, all of his demon followers. Money means nothing. That filet mignon, lobster tail, and caviar. All this fine dining means nothing. There's no food in America, period, and we are classified as animals. It's not illegal to eat animals. Scripture says there will be no birds in the sky, no fish in the sea. And the whole thing about it is these demons have been telling us to climb this ladder and, attain this American dream, get 30 years on the job, get your retirement in and keep your head down, keep your nose clean, and work for this American dollar, which is nothing but illusion. They've been telling us that money is energy. The more money you have, the better your life is. You're healthy. You got all the time in the world. And scriptures clearly states that it's harder for a rich man to enter heaven than it is for a camel to get through the eye of a needle. Money means absolutely nothing when we are on the menu. And not only that, these demons are going to be looking crazy trying to figure out what to do next, because they're going to be the main ones being attacked. These devils are going to be attacking all black folks. The demons are the closest ones to Master. They are in bed with Master. They live with Master. They're in the big house with Master. And some of you brothers and sisters may be interacting with these devils, and because you don't have knowledge of self, however, you're going to see these devils for who they truly are here in a couple of days. Now, the whole thing about cannibalism is the Bible specifically speaks against eating meat with blood in it. For one, you're eating meat with blood in it. That means that it's raw, uncooked, and for two, that animal, that being, is possibly still alive. And the whole thing about cannibalism is a slippery slope, because once you're not supposed to eat your same species. And by being a cannibal, these devils eating humans, the same species as them, It messes with your brain structure. It makes you go crazy. You know, you may be thinking, oh, they might grab one or two of us, but they're not going to keep doing it. No. Once they start eating us, they're going to want more. Okay, it becomes addicting. That's why they have to put a dog down. You know, if the dog is helping guard the sheep and whatnot, if the dog gets a taste of blood, they have to put that dog down because now it's craving it. Now it's craving more and more. And so you may be thinking, oh, they get one or two of us, and after that, they're going to realize that what they're doing is wrong. No, it's going to get worse and worse, brothers and sisters. Hear now, O leaders of Jacob. This is speaking to the devils. You rulers of the house of Israel. This is speaking about the devils. They're the ones who are presiding over us. They're the ones who's leading us. We're not leading ourselves. We don't have our own. They are ruling over us. Should you not know justice? Should you be getting out a consequence? No. You hate good and love evil. That's these devils, all right? You tear the skin from my people and strip the flesh from their bones. You eat the flesh of my people after stripping off their skin and breaking their bones. You chop them up like flesh for the cooking pot, like meat in a cauldron. Then they will cry out to the Lord, but he will not answer them. At that time he will hide his face from them because of the evil that they have done. Understand that this scripture is speaking in present tense. That means that this is taking place. This is what is about to happen in a couple of days. This is not past tense. And this is clearly outlining what these devils are about to be doing to us in a couple of days. And with them saying, you tear the skin from my people, that means that these devils are going to be successful in getting a couple of us. Understand that you tear the skin from my people and strip the flesh from their bones. You eat the flesh of my people after stripping off their skin and breaking their bones. You chop them up like flesh for the cooking pot, like meat in a cauldron. Eating us, cooking us, putting us in pots, boiling us up like soup, cooking us as if we are an edible meal source. We're not animals. They are going to try to destroy us. Then they will cry out to the Lord, but he will not answer them. At that time, he will hide his face from them because of the evil they have done. This is speaking about the devils. They are the ones that will be crying out to the Lord, but he will not answer them. Because this is their consequence. This is their judgment. Now, we don't want to be wrapped up in their judgment. We don't want to be wrapped up in their consequence. That's why it says to flee. What is it that is going on that is so urgent that you are supposed to flee immediately? Not go back to your house and get the baby out the crib, not get anything. Flee. What is happening that is life or death if you don't get out of town? Because false Israel's under siege, America and Britain are automatically attacking all blacks. It's not the military. It's not the police force. It's not the National Guard. It's your next door neighbors, the devils that you are in bed with. And with no food being around, period, and us being classified as food, us being classified as animals, these devils are going to show their true colors. Because of all your abominations, I will do you what I have never done before and will never do again. As a result, fathers among you will eat their sons, and sons will eat their fathers. I will execute judgments against you and scatter all your remnant to every wind. Again, brothers and sisters, these devils will be eating each other. However, before they eat their own children, possibly before they even touch their pets, they're going to be eating us. Because of all your abominations. We know that during this time period, the abomination of desolation is taking place. Because false Israel's over there in our holy land, they're not supposed to be over there. And what they're doing by eating each other up and doing this, all this cannibalism, eating each other's flesh, eating each other alive, raw. Sick and disgusting. And this is how they have always been. As a result, fathers among you will eat the sons, and sons will eat their fathers. I will execute judgments against you and scatter all your remnant to every wind. They're going to be eating their own children. Understand that these devils, they have black-faced children. They have devils in black skin. That's what the demons are. You are the seed of your father. If your father is a devil, then that makes you a demon. If your father is original, that makes you original. It does not matter who your mother is. These devils would much rather eat their demon children over their white-faced children. They don't care about the demons. All blacks are constituted as animals. And so it's saying how the fathers will eat their sons and the sons will eat their fathers. We're going to go to chapter 6 of the Injil. The Injil is all 22 chapters of Revelations, also known as the Apocalypse. Injil is the Arabic word for the gospel. Now, the Injil exposes all their dirty secrets. The Injil classifies us as food. We are the wheat, the demons are the barley. So right here in this picture, you have wheat and barley. They look just alike. However, there are subtle differences. The barley right here has the spikes on it, and the wheat is the smoother plant. And chapter 6 not only exposes or classifies us as food, but it also shows that they will be buying and selling us. And so let's get into it. And when I heard the third seal, and when he opened up the seal the third, I heard of the third living saying, "Be you coming?" Excuse me, brother, sister. A little stuffy today. And when he opened up the seal the third, I heard of the third living saying, "Be you coming?" And I saw and look, horse black, and the sitting upon it having yoke in the hand of him. And I heard a voice in midst of the four living saying, "Shoneks of wheat of denarius, and three shonexes of barley of denarius, and the oil and the wine not you should treat unrighteously." Okay. We're speaking about the third seal. So right here in the red, first seal, brown, second seal. The red is the African nation. The brown is the Asian nation. Yellow is the Oriental nation. This is the third seal. Down here is the European nations. Okay, America and Britain have already been kicked out the Middle East. False Israel, the eagle, also known as Satan, right here is under siege. We have the EU right here, also known as the earth, and Russia. Right now, you see the barley and the wheat. The barley are the demons, okay? The original nation has been corrupted by relentless, non-stop rape of us original sisters. And so there are 3 barleys and 1 wheat. There is a 3-for-1 situation going on here. It says the 4 living saying, show next of wheat of a denarius. So that's a quart of wheat for a coin. A denarius is a Roman coin. And 3 quarts of barley for a coin. So for someone just looking on at this, as I've said before, you see 3 barleys for a coin, and there is 1 wheat for a coin. You may look at that and say, man, 3 barleys for a coin, that's a deal. When in reality, the wheat is the most valuable. The 3 barleys for that denarius is almost as if they are on sale. And as you see, as we'll go along, we only want the wheat. The wheat is our original brothers and sisters within the NOI, the Levites. The barley are all the demons, Farrakhan, Christian blacks, your very family members. These entertainers, social media influencers, and Democratic Party. And so the oil and the wine not you should treat unrighteously. Right here we have the oil, which are the Shia, Iran and Syria, and the wine, which is the African nation right here. And there's 3 of these keys. You got the oil, wine, oil. That's 3. And it's 3 barleys as well. We got this white barley right here, this fiery red barley, and the green barley down here, the greenish yellow. And scriptures want to make sure that we don't get it confused with who's being spoken about here. There's a 3-for-1 situation, and there leaves no room for confusion on who the 3 that's being spoken about is. These 3 look just like the wheat. Okay, so it cannot possibly be the oil and the wine. And that's why the scripture says, do not treat the oil and wine unrighteously, because that means that the other food items are being treated unrighteously. Now, the angel has classified us as food, which is exposing these devils' dirty little secret of how they have classified us as food. Because in the U.S. Constitution, they're calling us 3/5 a human. And if we're not 100% human, that means we're not human at all. And that means that we're an animal. And that animals are food. Animals can be eaten. There's nothing illegal about that. So the angel has exposed their dirty little secret of how they've been keeping us in their back pocket for when they fall on hard times. What's going on in this picture? America and Britain have just got kicked out the Middle East. They are attacking black people, as I have explained. Up here in the gold, the elect, those of us brothers and sisters that have taken heed, we have our foresight. We saw this coming before it took place, and we already got out of town. We have already been delivered from this event of them attacking us and eating us. All right, the 144,000, the elect, we have already been delivered. The wheat, the NOI, they are somewhat caught up in this. However, they're going to be fleeing. The demons are caught up in this as well. Then the 4 winds blow. The red right in the middle. The African nations, they're being attacked right along with all black. Understand, it's all black people. The African immigrants over here that have migrated here to America. The demons right here in America. The NOI, the original brothers and sisters right here in America. The elect have already gotten out of town. All blacks are being attacked. The Africans are going to fight back. They are unified. They're not being put in no concentration camps. That's another thing. They're going to be drafting these demons for war, putting them in concentration camps I'll show that on the next slide, or I'll explain it on the next slide. These Africans are not going for it. And while they fight back, not necessarily on our behalf, they're doing it to protect themselves. We get a benefit from it because it gives us a breather and a chance to come together. The demons are going to be fleeing with all blacks because they are scared. Not only that, they want to eat. And Master Farad Muhammad is going to make sure that our Levite brothers and sisters within the NOI eat. Scripture says that manna will be given once a day. Okay, and I'm paraphrasing. And so the demons are going to try to act like they are original. They're going to try to act like they are in agreement or down for the message of the Abrahamic covenant. And they really just want a meal. Okay, they're desperate. So the four winds are blowing. False Israel is destroyed. The oil and the wine come back up. Excuse me, let me go back so you can see what happened. The three demons, the barley is up top, right along with the wheat, the NOI. Remember, Scripture said 3 for 1. We want the most valuable food item, which is the wheat. And we throw back the barley to America, to these demons, swine daddies, where they will have be going to war. It's a race war. Just ask yourself, what could be that important that these demons are going to war with Massa about? So the demons are coming from up top. They're being casted out. And the oil and the wine, the Shia, and this African nation right here are coming up top in the ark. So you see that the demons are now down here on the bottom. Excuse me. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. So you see that the demons are on the bottom. They're going to a war with America. At the end of the day, it's the demons versus the devils. And the demons are trying to convince us that we can fight with them and we can take America back and we can get it all cleaned up and together. We don't want to have anything to do with the demons. We don't want to have anything to do with America. We are ready to go home. And so with the demons being thrown back, they're being put into concentration camps. They're being drafted for war. America is at war with Russia and the EU. They still have China and India on their way over here with their 200 million man army for their coming over here to invade America. And with all these wars taking place, their military needs energy. They have to eat something. And the angel has already made it clear that they're going to be buying and selling us. The Africans are not going for the concentration camps. The elect would have already gotten out of town. And so we take the wheat, we throw them the 3 barley. We don't want the demons. Farrakhan, Christian blacks, all these influencers, Oprah, Denzel, Jay-Z, Kanye, Beyonce, all of their money means nothing. Nothing. Money blowing in the streets. And so it's the demons against the devils. And the demons are going down into their destruction. They're not going to survive, and neither will the devils, because China and India is coming over with this 200 million man army and completely wiping America out and nuking it up. Britain would have already been destroyed, and their military is coming over here for their last stance with America. Now, as you can see, the elect have been delivered from America. The Shia, which is the oil, have already taken their place in our ranks. They've already taken their place in the ark. The Shia are not coming here to America, so that means that we are going over there to the Middle East. Our promised land is Arabia. It's in the Middle East, North Africa. Now we have the wine, which is the Islamic part of the African nation. We have Elijah, who is alive and well, and Ahmed, Muhammad. Right up under it, we have the water, which is the Islamic part of the Asian nation. These are the Sunnis. This is tribulations, and the NOI, which is the wheat, is in tribulations. Okay, this is their incubation period, their makeup exam, where the NOI will have to go through tribulations. They will be given manna 1 time a day from Master Farad Muhammad. And they're going to regain knowledge of self and gather the rest of our brothers and sisters that are lost, confused, have no clue what's going on. This is what the NOI was supposed to be doing since the messenger departed. The NOI, the Levites, were supposed to be a bridge between the messenger and the messenger of the covenant. Okay, as stated in Malachi, the messenger of the covenant will come after the messenger. The messenger of the covenant is Master Suleiman. The Levites were to be a bridge between Elijah Muhammad and Master Suleiman during that 42-year time period of gathering our people, having our people prepared to receive and accept the messenger of the covenant, Master Suleiman, and to be ready to regain full knowledge of self, return to our mathematical thinking through the angel, regain our discipline through the 5 fundamental mathematical pillars of Islam. We would have been prepared. However, the Levites allowed lying hypocrite Farrakhan to come in and overturn all the teachings, rip up all of our hard work, dissolve all of our assets, had them worshiping the golden calf, which is Sunnism. And so those Levites within the NOI have to go through tribulations. Now, as long as they apply the 5 fundamental mathematical pillars of Islam, and they think mathematically by uploading the angel, they will be fine. Not a hair on their head will be touched as long as they do what they're supposed to do. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm not here to persuade you. You must be able to think on your own. That's the only way you're going to be able to upload or regain knowledge of self. I'm here to give you the facts, give you the information, and you can go do your own studying and draw your own conclusion. At the end of the day, you must have your name registered in the Lamb's Book of Life, which is what the NOI will be doing through tribulation period. They're getting their names registered in Lamb's Book of Life, and they're doing that by regaining knowledge of self. The elect have already done that. They were the ones to turn around the quickest and jump into action the quickest. And so we all have to make the cut in order to get up out of here. And so you're listening to these motivational speakers, these ministers and demon deacons over the church. You're listening to the Legion, Louis Eugene Grounds, ION. Legion is an acronym. Stands the whole word Legion. Each letter stands for a word. Louis Eugene Grounds is Farrakhan's real name. ION stands for the NOI backwards. That's exactly what Farrakhan has done. And you're looking up to these demons for advice and guidance, and they have nothing to offer you but lies. They did not break the 7 seals. There's only one person claiming to have broken the 7 seals, Master Suleiman, and he is shown and proven to us. Not only that, we can go and check and prove for ourselves that he has broken the 7 seals. He is the only one who has came to us with the message of the Abrahamic covenant. In church, they are not allowed to speak about this Abrahamic covenant. Farrakhan is not speaking about the Abrahamic covenant. And so your ignorance, brothers and sisters, is what's going to get a lot of you all falling by the wayside. That's why I'm here speaking the truth, giving you insight, showing you how to receive your foresight back so that you can be right in step and on time. You have not seen these devils hungry. You have not seen them thirsty. You have not seen them fiending for their next piece of flesh. They have had us right where they want us all this time, which with us being blind, deaf, and dumb, we are not a threat to them. With them having food available, you don't see them as a threat to us. However, what I'm explaining to you is that the food shortage is already here and famine is coming in the next couple of days. And when it hit, it's going to hit you like a shock because they have not been telling you that there was no food all along. As a matter of fact, they encouraged us to eat up what little food is here in the stores. I explained how they giving out all this government assistance, food stamps and whatnot, fattening us up for the kill and encouraging us to clear off the shelves that much more quickly. And so I will be back with more. I hope that this is understandable and it's clear. And thank you for having me. Assalamu alaikum.